Jupiter, blasting out of the universe. Need to loosen up, but deep in my pursuit of the Catdet. Am I cool enough? No, probably not, but still moving up. That's a money verb while sitting at the computer, and yeah. Mission moves along, gonna make it easy for them all to come and get involved. Station nation been going up, volume isn't my middle name, still see me in that order book. Need to learn to trade the patience and maybe then you'll start to cook. But still I swear I'm always chasing, I'm dumb as fuck, we don't blow it up. Jupiter, blasting out of the universe. Need to loosen up, but deep in my pursuit of the Catdet. Am I cool enough? No, probably not, but still moving up. That's a money verb while sitting at the computer, and yeah. Mission moves along, gonna make it easy for them all to come and get involved. Blasting out of the universe. Need to loosen up, but deep in my pursuit of the Catdet. Am I cool enough? No, probably not, but still moving up. That's a money verb while sitting at the computer, and yeah. Mission moves along, gonna make it easy for them all to come and get involved. Station nation been going up, volume isn't my middle name, still see me in that order book. Need to learn to trade the patience and maybe then you'll start to cook. But still I swear I'm always chasing, I'm dumb as fuck, we don't blow it up. Jupiter, blasting out of the universe. Need to loosen up, but deep in my pursuit of the Catdet. Am I cool enough? No, probably not, but still moving up. That's a money verb while sitting at the computer, and yeah. Mission moves along, gonna make it easy for them all to come and get involved. Blasting out of the universe. Need to loosen up, but deep in my pursuit of the Catdet. Am I cool enough? No, probably not, but still moving up. That's a money verb while sitting at the computer, and yeah. Mission moves along, gonna make it easy for them all to come and get involved. Station nation been going up, volume isn't my middle name, still see me in that order book. Need to learn to trade the patience and maybe then you'll start to cook. But still I swear I'm always chasing, I'm dumb as fuck, we don't blow it up. Jupiter, blasting out of the universe. Need to loosen up, but deep in my pursuit of the Catdet. Am I cool enough? No, probably not, but still moving up. That's a money verb while sitting at the computer, and yeah. Mission moves along, gonna make it easy for them all to come and get involved. Blasting out of the universe. Need to loosen up, but deep in my pursuit of the Catdet. Am I cool enough? No, probably not, but still moving up. That's a money verb while sitting at the computer, and yeah. Mission moves along, gonna make it easy for them all to come and get involved. Station nation been going up, volume isn't my middle name, still see me in that order book. Need to learn to trade the patience and maybe then you'll start to cook. But still I swear I'm always chasing, I'm dumb as fuck, we don't blow it up. Jupiter, blasting out of the universe. Need to loosen up, but deep in my pursuit of the Catdet. Am I cool enough? No, probably not, but still moving up. That's a money verb while sitting at the computer, and yeah. Mission moves along, gonna make it easy for them all to come and get involved.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this planetary call number 25. I've got a new camera. I'm feeling crispy. Meow, you're looking crispy as always, my guy. How you doing today?
Really good. Okay, probiotic.
Gotta take care of the gut, people. If there's one thing you learn on these calls, two things: always hydrate and take care of the gut. Chug that milk like Meow does. We're gonna get going here in just a second. Tell your there we go. Tell your friends to join. Tell your baby mamas to come. Retweet the stream, like the YouTube video, do all that good stuff as people get in. Meow, did you see there was a message about you getting ready to do the push-ups? How are we doing on those?
I'm always ready, bro. Always ready. Let's go.
Always ready, but never executing on the push-ups. How interesting. How interesting. We'll get those.
I just don't record them, okay? I do them, okay? Because I'm not a show-off, okay?
We'll see. I don't know. Shout out to my 0 boys out there who are helping keep Meow accountable. Baby mamas, where you at? Says the chat. All right, we got a lot of stuff to go through today, so we're going to get right into it right away. Like this. Hello. Welcome to the Planetary Call. It is August 21st. My goodness. It is August 21st. And we have only one way that we can start this call. Only one. If you don't know already, now you're going to know the unofficial Cadet theme song. Let's go. There we go. Somebody said, Sensei said, some nights I can't sleep because I have this song in my head.
You and me, both. You and me.
You're not alone, brother. You're not alone. All right, folks. In case you don't already know, my name is Cash Donda. I lead the Uplink working group, which is the group that puts on these calls with a lot of help from the team. So shout out to Julie and Soju and everybody else on the team who helps put these together, and Meow, of course. And today, we're going to do the same thing that we usually do. We're going to dive deep into the people, the products, the partners that make the Jupiverse what it is here. This is not a call about token talk. Instead, we're going to talk about a bunch of more exciting things than the token price. Specifically, we're going to be talking through some wins of the week, which we didn't have last week. We'll go through a few of them this week. There's some Jupiter product updates, including a new product that's now in beta that people will be able to try out very soon. So we'll talk about that. Along with a few other cool things that have been happening from the team side. Then the kind of entree of the call, if you will, is going to be a working group update and where working groups are going to go from here. If you were with us last week, we did a nice deep dive, Meow and I, into kind of a frank conversation about everything that's going on, including with the Jup DAO and how working groups are going to work. So we have Chemo and Slorg here from the CWG to help explain where we're going here and to go through their latest proposal that's on the Jup Research Forum. And then, if that wasn't enough, we have a great new partner here. Voltka is going to be talking about how they're leveraging Jupiter as they expand to Solana. And then finally, Catdets Corner back on the menu. And we got just a great cadet. We got Irish with us here. Do we have any Irish fans in the chat? Maybe give me a little Irish if you've seen him around Discord or everywhere else, because the man is basically everywhere. It's going to be a fun one. Is
he actually Irish?
What'd you say?
Is he actually Irish?
I mean, it'd be pretty funny if he was like Sudanese or something like that. But yeah, I think that he is Irish. Are you Irish? Let us know in the chat if Irish is actually. I believe he is. His accent is lovely.
I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
We'll find out soon enough. Anyway, that's where we're going to go. But we're going to start off here with the wins of the week.
We also did a bunch of developer updates and stuff. So I think we're going to have a bunch of developer tools as well pretty soon. Yeah, it's fun.
Soon? We got a lot of good stuff. A lot of stuff is coming, man. Those group chats are busy right now. So let's go. Yeah, Irish is high. He's on Irish Viking. Okay, cool. Scarlett is confirmed. He is indeed Irish. Irish is definitely Sudanese, though, says Sack. So it's hard to tell. I don't know. We'll find out. Stick around to the end of the call to find out, is Irish actually Irish? Okay, cool. Let's get into some of the wins of the week here first and foremost. This is a really fun one. The malicious browser extension that has been, unfortunately, draining a bunch of wallets has been caught by the Jupiter team. Shout out to the Discord mods, in particular, Rakuna, Denda, and Vito, along with Soju, who did just a ridiculous amount of work to make this happen. In case you missed it, a wallet draining browser extension was added to Reddit and a few other places. People were losing funds and it wasn't clear what exactly was going on. Thankfully, through the team's efforts, we're able to get that removed from the Chrome store. And the goal here is to help keep users safe. We're going to get the full deep dive, the full kind of investigative report from private investigator Soju in just a little bit. But this is one of those cool things that I think helps.
Funny, right? It's actually really funny, right? Because it was happening on a bunch of places, right? And then there was no apparent link, right? To any of these things. But it just suddenly came up, right? And I think, so I think the team and the bots did a lot of really good work to try to, it was an ecosystem wide thing, right? Because so I think it was actually very unapparent, and probably a lot of cases happened that they didn't know about. So I feel like, and also it wasn't a, so I think it was actually really great that I'm really impressed, by with Suju and the mods like Rakuna and Dendo and Mento to check it out. I think I'm just very impressed by how much commitment there was, for the system. Yeah.
I think it's one of those cool things because there's no like profit motive for the mods or for Soju or anybody else to be like solving this. It's just something that helped keep the ecosystem safe. This is very much in that kind of grow the pie mentality, right? That PPP mentality of like, hey, let's make sure that everyone has a chance to win out here. Even if you're newer, maybe you're a little bit less sophisticated because you haven't been around. This is, I think, just good for everybody.
And also we learn a lot, about about the different vectors, right? I think Soju will tell you that he learned a lot. I learned a lot. And certainly, I think, hopefully, by publishing the articles and also the tweet, I think everyone learned a lot too. Yeah.
Safu Kings. That's right, Southern. That is right. The next win to go through here, the Meowcast with Steve Chen is out now. Steve Chen, the co-founder of YouTube, sat down with Meow. They just accidentally matched, by the way. This wasn't intentional. Was it, Meow? This was accidental?
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of, sort of. We'll see. There's no other way to say it, folks. It's a banger of a podcast. It's an hour and a half of just juicy goodness going into everything from user-generated money and how that's kind of an evolution of user-generated content, into where meme coin landscapes is going, how communities function when they are healthy and functioning well, and much, much more. If you've already seen it, you know that there's a lot of goodness. It is live right now on the Jupiter YouTube. And the funny little story, Irish dug the podcast. If anyone else watched it, let us know in the chat what you thought about it. I see Wilson enjoyed that chat. It was great, says Machine King. Democratization of ideas, indeed. I'm glad that the end result was so good.
I'll just share something here, right? I think what's actually really interesting was the idea that like user-generated content, right? And user-generated money, right? It's like, I think when we started YouTube and stuff, he had no idea that, wow, something that like user-generated content can overtake, right? Centralized content at some point.
Yeah.
Right.
You're displacing Disney, just like some random kids in their bedroom, right?
Wow, everything out there right now, for sure, by far, right? And then same thing too, right? Like we are at the early stage of user-generated money, right? Most of the world's users got centralized generated money, right? But what if someday user-generated money overtakes centralized generated money? That's crazy. Right.
It sounds crazy right now, but it sounded crazy, 15 years ago or 20 years ago when YouTube started as well. The future is often.
I mean, if you told someone when they started YouTube of the cat, of his like stupid cat video and stuff, right? Right? And then you're like, oh, one day this is gonna overtake everything. You're like, fuck you, man. You're no fucking crew, man. How are you gonna overtake the mighty SNFBC?
Listen, folks, we don't know what the future is going to be, but the one thing we know is that it will be surprising and weird and fun in all sorts of new ways. So if whatever your version of the future seems reasonable right now, it's probably not going to be what the future actually is. And somebody said mad chill. This guy was mad chill. They were indeed. Meow blacked out when he was talking about UGF. I will say it was not a chill process to get this done. We had people on standby to fly into San Francisco to actually film this in the end. So shout out to our guy, David, for putting this one together in the end. Next win. This is a nice one.
And shout out to the Pajamas team, who was instrumental as well. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of cooks to make something this great. I will tell you that. Next win here, speaking of cooks making something great, Jupiter Lock, a new Jupiter product, is now out in beta. It's free for anyone in the ecosystem to use, open source, fully audited as well. And what it basically allows you to do is take tokens and vest them, lock them, distribute them on an ongoing kind of basis in any ways that you might want. So you can imagine a bunch of different use cases around it. For me, personally, I think that this takes us one step closer to that kind of cat ideal, right? That certainty, that alignment, that transparency ideal for tokens, where people know where they're going in all sorts of ways. And there might be some fun things happening around it very soon. Stick around. We'll get a full deep dive on this product in about, 8 minutes or so from the team that helped put it together.
I feel like this is actually an important feature. I mean, like, it's actually not. It's an important feature, right? For everyone to use. I mean, so we want three things, right? Number one, we want to be fully audited. Secondly, is that we want to be completely free. And thirdly, that we want to be open source. And also, we also going to spend a lot of time in terms of the developer tools to help it easily be integratable, right, into any product flow. Yeah, so I think I think all those things are actually really important, for a system like this. And we hope that, like, with this thing, I think it will help to enforce transparency in the ecosystem, because I think it'll be great. Yeah.
I think it will. I don't want to say anything more about it. I want to steal Xian's thunder too much. So we'll let Xian talk about this important public good. And shout out to my guy Fab there in the chat as well. The next win on the product side, Jupiter referrals are also live. It constantly kind of blows my mind how many people are not aware that there are entire, very lucrative businesses built on the back of Jupiter Spot. More than 100 million, and that is severely undercounting it in my opinion here. It is, right? We don't know what the actual number is, but it's more than 100 million. I can guarantee you that. And so now,
Jupiter is free. So Jup.ag is free, right? Jup.ag is always free, right? And we intend to keep it free for like a very, very long time, right? But partners using our API can charge fees, right?
And
and then so
that was kind of limited to developer partners that can implement the API and do all these other kind of things. Now that is available to everybody who is watching this, whether you're technical or non-technical. The referral program allows you to earn a share of any fees for people that you direct over to Jupiter. You can take up to 1%, possibly lower than that, and then Jupiter will take a small piece of that if you're taking any fees. The user, by the way, they can turn off the referral fee at any time. Once they kind of get on board, they feel like they know what they're doing, they might choose to turn it off. But it's a nice way to give the people out there who are helping to spread Jupiter out into the universe an opportunity to kind of have some shared upside from that perspective. And some nice comments coming through in the chat as well. All right, that is Jupiter referrals. A shout out to everybody onboarding their grandmoms as well. Jup has and always will be free, as you can see. The text getting live.
Yeah, I was typing that live. Yeah.
If you're new around here, you might think like, oh, they must spend days and days preparing this call. No, it is done. It is done live always, because there's just too much stuff happening at the last moment. There's a lot of things that are going on. And Hanko, you are exactly right. $100 million is wild. And again, that's on the low end. That's undercounting it. So Jupiter helping to sustain a lot of businesses now, hopefully can help to sustain some users as well. As far as community wins here, got to give a shout out to the Uplink working group. The Uplink grants program for creators is now live. You can go over to Superteam Earn, earn.superteam.fund/grants to apply. I think we've already given out 5 or 6 grants, and many more are coming soon. Keep in mind, folks, these are micro grants, right? So they're up to, I believe, $5,000 worth of Jup, or 5,000 Jup or less. They're meant for primarily content creators. So if you are doing things around how to use Jup products or Jup culture or anything else like that, we would love to help fund your efforts and your creative efforts. Would love to see some creative ideas coming through. Big shout out to OG from the Uplink working group, who is helping to oversee this program and evaluate those grants as they come in. Like I said, we've had a bunch of applications and many more to come. Uplink works if more people from the community step forward and help out. So shout out to everybody who's participating so far. All right. And with that said, that is the wins of the week. Anything else that we missed, Meow? Or should we get into some Jupiter product updates?
Let's get into it. Yep.
Let's get into it. There's a lot to get into. So next up here, we have a first-time guest on the Planetary called the new cat on the block. Please drop a warm JM to Xian from the Jupiter team to talk about Jupiter Lock. Xian, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, first time here. So yeah, I see all the JMs in the chat. Warm welcome from everybody. So yes, I'll be talking about Jupiter Lock. So we're launching Jupiter Lock, I think a place where we really want everyone to come and like lock and invest their tokens. So I think Cash and Meow previously already mentioned that it will be open source. It has already been audited by 2 auditors, so Sec3 and AutoSec, and it will be completely free for everyone to use. So I think what really drives Jupiter Lock is really the CAT or the CAT principles that we talked about previously. So we came up with this idea like of a vesting contract by Jupiter where everyone can come and lock their tokens before launching. So let's just imagine that you are a project owner and you want to launch a token, right? So let's say at mint, you decide transparently the team gets 10%. You want to vest this over, let's say, 3 years and 1 year cliff. So you can do that on Jupiter Lock. And with that, you really have number one, certainty, the C. So we all know that this 10% is being set aside for the team and will follow the vesting schedule as per the contract. So everyone can view your tokenomics, whether they are locked or in circulation. And then 2, we have alignment. So you signal your commitment to build by adding the cliff of 1 year. So you align the team, the community, and all other parties, right? And lastly, we have transparency. So everything's on chain, everyone can query, everyone can easily view all this detail. So there goes our CAT. So any team right now can really provide this to their community. So for us, Jupiter Lock is really going to be the public good for the ecosystem, and we really hope to see more teams using it and help integrating it for other purposes as well. So that is, in a nutshell, Jupiter Lock. Before we move on to a quick demo, is there anything you want to add here?
I will add only that I think this is cool. I guess one question for you, Xian. Do you obviously you can imagine founding teams using this to allocate their initial token supply or something like this. Are you imagining a world in which people are building products around Jupiter Lock as well, in the same way people build products around Jupiter Swap?
Yeah, so I think for Jupiter Lock, it can be a standalone product. It can be integrated for other more sophisticated use case, whether it's together with different launches. I think that will be what will be interesting to see, the use case and ecosystem will come on.
Very cool. Yeah, should we take a little look at the demo then?
I mean,
Yes.
honestly, there are a lot of things you can do, right? It can even be part of a burning thing. So, for example, you might not want to burn something over, you might burn something over time, right? You know, right? Yeah. You know, so I think you can do anything wrong with it. You know, honestly, yeah.
Interesting. When you talk about burning something over time, I happen to know a protocol that's going to be burning some tokens over time.
Maybe.
We'll
figure
it out. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I do actually think that the whole point here is to enable a whole range of like integrations. So you know, yeah, I think there are a lot of use cases that besides launching that can actually use a cliff or a streaming mechanism. Yeah.
Very cool. Let's take a look at it. Maybe that'll help bring it to some clarity as well. So yeah, can you talk us through what we're looking at as this video plays?
Yeah, definitely. So it might not sync, but we should see. So we have a quick demo here for Jupiter Lock. You can see all the locks that's being created on Jupiter Lock. And then, so I think we have a token here that you click in, all the vesting details are there. So you can configure all these vesting details during the creation stage. So if you click create lock, let's say whether we do USDC or SOL, I think that is the common one. And let's call it maybe cash bribes. And I went 0.1, so cash, and I don't have your address. Oh, okay, we can do Meow right next time. So yeah, so we have 1 year vest, 1 year vesting, and then for 6 months cliff. So literally everybody can see that I will be bribing cash on chain. So all this information, once confirmed, will be shown on the all log section. So you can see whether it's how many months cliff, how many months vest. You know for sure what the clear tokenomics. So yeah,
can you just paste an address right now and then like go from there? Yeah, and just show people how it works. Yeah.
Sorry, this is video. So if I have to do it, I have to share
Oh,
That's the
okay,
sad
okay.
part.
Yeah, it would
Yeah,
be good to actually do a demo next time while holding shows.
yeah,
That'd be great.
for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I'll do
Wait,
a
well,
live demo next time.
it's not very interesting this way, yeah. Yeah, but better
Yeah.
to like do a demo, do a shows and everything and stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know if
next
I'm
time. Yeah.
more disrespected by the fact that you think you can bribe me or the fact that you think you could bribe me for 0.1
With
soul.
0.1 soul.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
come on,
a guy's got to have
It's not small,
standards out here, right?
Cash.
Yeah, this shirt ain't cheap, you know?
Yeah, so to let everyone know, you can only lock the tokens that's in your connected wallet. So unfortunately, I'm not reaching out to bribe cash big time yet. So let's start small. Yeah. So yeah, we definitely have plans to work together with key partners and more integration. So I think one example that's coming out would be, for example, rock check. So definitely working with them to try to display and track this information more transparently. So things like circulating supply, lock supply, I think that will help the community form better informed decisions and navigate to the range of tokens that we see nowadays. So yeah. So currently we're in beta, so feel free to test it out on lock.jup.ag, so lock.jup.ag, and then let us know your feedback in Discord.
Very cool. I do feel like I'm about to get a lot of 0.1 soul bribes. Folks, I'm not bribable. I do this only for the love of the game. But Jupiter Lock, very cool. How long did it take to build this out? I'm curious.
Sorry?
How long did it take to build this out?
Correct me if I'm not if I'm wrong, Mel. I think the contract and
I think I think everything including auditing and stuff is about a couple of months.
Yeah.
I think because you have to audit, you have to develop it, audit it, the UI, everything. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's why I was asking. Yeah, the audit part is the slowest part. So clearly this has been going on for a little while behind the scenes. Excellent. I think that folks are excited. There's one question here. Would this be something for upcoming NFT projects as well? Well, there we go.
I think currently we only support tokens, but that couldn't be something that we would maybe consider. I don't know how vesting will work for NFTs, so but yeah.
NFTs will probably not work. But NFTs can work in the sense that they can take the mint, right? I mean, the question becomes like, if the NFT is raising money, for example, the money they raise can be vested.
Correct.
Right. Yeah. So that could be something to be done as well, and then there could be some mechanism for the NFT, for the project to actually have the there could be mechanism for the project to actually for the holders of the NFT, to maybe some blocking mechanism can be done if the team rocks or something. I don't know. Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's an interesting primitive that people might be able to build on top of and customize for particular use cases, whether it's NFT communities or something else. But basically, any team that has tokens that wants to have some transparency on where those tokens are going and how they're going to be vested would be could use Jupiter Lock in order to do that. I believe is the point here.
Yep.
Yeah, you got it.
Very cool. All right. Zach asks, what if somebody makes a typo and accidentally puts in 100 years instead of 100 days?
This is very important. Thanks, Zach, for that, because you reminded me to inform everyone that for the beta stage. So if you lock it, you really lock it. We currently don't have change at the access. So yeah, there will be 100 years instead of 100 days. But we will have one more confirmation modal that we see maybe next time when I do a live demo of it. So you have one more time to look through before you confirm and create the contract. So feel safe there.
Gotcha. So be sure to have the right information when you put that in. That's the kind of takeaway here for right now. Excellent. Anything else to say on Jupiter Lock, Meow or Xian?
No, just try it out. That's what I think. Right? And obviously, it can be a really big commitment to lock a lot of tokens. So be careful. Yeah.
Excellent. Cool. Give us that feedback in Discord if you've tried it out, if you have ideas on how to improve the UX, the UI, or any further future features you would like to see. Xian, thanks so much for coming out.
Thank you.
And with that said, let's keep the good times rolling. I'm going to bring up another member of the Jupiter team here. Anyhow, the talkative panda behind Perps and LO, where is he? There we go. Drop a little jam in the chat for Anyhow. First time, or I think first time. No.
Yeah, first time.
First time. That's right. Okay,
Yes,
good.
yes.
I've seen you before, so I wasn't sure. First time on the call here to talk all about Jupiter limit orders, and the name of the game today is Make Limit Orders Great Again. Anyhow, what can you tell us about the state of limit orders on Jupiter?
Hey, I'm Anyhauu. So I built limit order and perps product for Jupiter. So let me talk a bit about the background of limit order. So when we start building the limit order, right, there's already a great product like OpenBook and Phoenix, and then a lot of people like asking about why do we still want to build a limit order, another limit order. To be Phoenix and OpenBook is really like a great product, but I think they are more focusing on like market maker instead of retail. So we always want to build the easiest limit order on Solana for all the retail and every user to use. So a few things that is very important. The first one is you want to allow any to any token trade on Solana, just like our swap. And then we want to have a very, very good UX for everyone to create limit order and just execute, and the money just sent to the fund just sent to your wallet. So it's the easiest thing to do to create limit order on Solana. And then there's actually a lot of like usage on this already. Like we have like millions of order, and then like up to 10,000 of pair across like all the orders. But we have to admit that the limit order is not working very, very well recently. One of the reason is there's just too much order. We have problems scaling it last time, and also like the token pair and the priority fee, like a lot of thing is like crazy like past few weeks. There's all these are actually of course it's not an excuse. When it doesn't work well, it's the engineer fault. It's our fault, my fault. Yeah.
Wait. Let's just jump real quick here. I feel like one thing to as Anyhauu mentioned, we are aware that for the last few months or weeks, limit orders have not working well. Okay, and then we're actually very sorry about that. And then there are a large number of reasons, right? Whether it's the number of pair scaling, number of order scaling, and or the price volatility of tokens, right? Just to give more context, I think we went from a system where we really had to care about a much smaller number of tokens, right? In a much lesser volatility, to a system where we had to expand a lot more orders and a lot more systems and a lot more price volatility, right? So I think that and then again, how Chen mentioned, it's our fault, for not reacting immediately to things. But I think we really spent a lot of time over the last couple of weeks trying to figure things out. I think we're confident that we have made some progress on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So now is the time to make limit order great again.
So
over the past few weeks, we have made quite a lot of progress to speed out and do a lot of optimization for the limit order keeper. And now I think it's working pretty well now. The execution timeout is much faster, and we also work with like routing and fix a lot of things on that. Besides that, we also add tracking to make sure that we know when we sucks. So previously when we sucks, like a lot of user complain to us, talk to us, then we know we sucks. But right now we added a lot of tracking and monitoring to make sure we know when we sucks before any user complain and make limit order great again. So there's also quite a lot of future improvement that we are thinking, like including like new matching system for limit order, and also allow permissionless keeper to fill order, so everyone on Solana can help fill all the order. Then also there's also some idea that make all the old order just expired, because any order like for that past 6 months, right, we will not execute anyway. So these are some of the future work that we are thinking, and we will execute it. And then there are also some update about limit order. So I think a few weeks ago we update limit order contract to support token 2022, except for those token 2022 that have transfer tax. So it will support much more token now. And the other thing is we add partner fee on top of limit order. So any of our integrator can have add fee using the referral system, just like Jupiter Swap. So that's all for limit order. But for planetary core, there must be some like alpha, right? So
Right.
yeah. We are actually also working on something. It's limit order also, but not on limit order. Yeah, so if you are using all our product, you will get it. It's limit order, but not on limit order. Coming soon.
It's limit orders, but not on limit orders. Interesting. So he came with alpha, but it comes in the form of a riddle, it seems. So folks can maybe try to guess where that's going. There's a question here from Butterboss. When adding limit orders to perps?
That's a secret. It's a secret.
Yeah. So I'm building a limit order, but not on limit order. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. The J.U.P community is smart, man. They saw that riddle. They solved it basically instantly. There was one other question around, or I think last week, we were talking, Meow, during that kind of like the frank conversation as we were reflecting on some of the ways in which limit orders had not been working. There was one concept around limiting the scope of which tokens could have limit orders to those that have kind of like more liquidity behind them and can kind of sustain across more volatility. Any ideas in that direction right now, or how are you guys thinking about which tokens you can use limit orders on?
No, the goal is always the same, right? To actually allow anyone to use limit orders for anything, right? You know, that I mentioned that in regard to the idea that if we cannot scale, we must at least make sure that we work really well for a certain set of tokens, and we communicate that we can't work that well for others, right? It's more about communication, right? Like I think one of the things that actually I wasn't happy about was that I wasn't happy with the fact that I think I actually felt really bad that our limit orders weren't working that well. But then we were fighting a lot of different things. And yeah, so I'm really happy about this. I think I hopefully as how you mentioned, we actually made a lot of changes recently. You know, we have a couple of guys that were actually helpful in the sense. We also added mega metrics, and then we really I think we should be equipped to scale to much bigger sets of people.
Nice.
And stuff. That's wrong with them.
Very cool. All right. So now there is a new alert system, so the team should know if anything does happen to go wrong going forward. But if you are using limit orders and you have some other feedback or run into any issues, jump into the Discord and let the folks know so they get on top of it. Very cool. Anyhow, anything else that you wanted to throw in there about limit orders?
Nope. Try limit order again and let me know whether it's great again. If not, I will make it great again.
If it's not, how about this? If limit orders doesn't work, he's got to come back with orange face paint and a Trump hat, and then do it in the Trump voice. And say, how's that?
No, guys, you hear that? That's so great. Like what he said like, our goal is to make limit orders great again. And if you try it out, if it's not great, tell him, right? You know, right? Yeah, we'll try to make it great again. Yeah, there you go. That is how whatever he said in the last two, for 10 seconds, it's the ethos of Jupiter. Okay, you know, basically we try, we don't always work, but they tell us and work really hard on it. You know, that's how it works. You know, yeah.
There it is, getting one step closer towards.
That is great. That's awesome. I love that he just summarized the ethos of Jupiter in like 10 seconds. Dude, you know what's amazing? I spent so much fucking time trying to communicate the ethos. He just said it in 10 seconds. Amazing.
Only on the planetary call. People are in public. They just make things nice and crisp. Anyhow, thanks so much for coming out, brother.
I love it.
Thanks
I love
for
it.
Thank you.
I'll clip it and be like, if limit order suck, this guy.
If limit order sucks, he's wearing orange face paint on the next call. That's my promise to everybody.
Wait, on a separate note inside, I feel like one thing that's actually really important here is that, I mean, I feel like limit order is something that I think is very, very, very reflective, right, of what you want to do, right? And we want to be number one upfront about things that are not great. Secondly, we want to fix them, and thirdly, we want to number three is that we want to really work with everybody, right, to make it better. Yeah, I said that is our ethos, you know, and hopefully I think we can make it better. Yeah, we do actually spend a tremendous amount of time on the update. Yeah, And lastly, is I think I'm really happy to have Xian and Anyhauu come on, right? To kind of like share kind of what they're working on and are doing, right? And just to say that how like Anyhauu built a lot of cool shit. So definitely follow him. Yeah.
What's your Twitter? It's at Anyhauu. Is that right?
Yeah, Anyhauu.
Folks, go drop Anyhauu a little follow for some more riddles or more alpha in the form of riddles, I should say. Excellent. Thanks so much, Anyhauu.
And he also drove the development of POAP, which is obviously one of the top decentralized POAP streaming platform in crypto today, right? Right. No small thing to do, man.
Not a small thing to do. Facilitating $900 million of volume a day, things like this are not easy to do. 10x engineer, the Jupiter channel.
All right.
Heard of it. Thanks, yeah. Catch you soon. All right, and that takes us over into the J.U.P, the Jupiter United Planet. And today we have a guest that is a fan favorite. Please drop a little Riz Lord, drop a little Lady Killer for the man himself, the man with the freshest hair, the freshest smile, freshest cologne. You're going to see him at breakpoint surrounded by women, unable to take a step forward. It is, of course, Mr. Soju. Soju, how you doing, my guy?
JM. A cash toss is a fresh cut, but this is pretty much like the longest my hair has ever, this is like the longest my hair has been. And it's this long because we have like so many of our team members in Singapore working in person. I don't have time to cut my hair, boss.
Well, you don't have time to cut your hair, but in between seducing all these ladies out in Singapore and Malaysia, you are keeping
That's always
just get over it. Just go and work.
There's always time. JM, everybody. I'm here to tell you guys a story about what happened over the last week, about how our thoughtful cadets and moderators took care of our users on Jupiter Discord. So late last week, we actually saw a few cases of users getting drained on Solana. And the thing that sort of tipped us off was that these users were using official DeFi sites. They weren't on phishing sites, they weren't using weird websites, but they were being affected. And another thing that was interesting was that these transactions that they got drained in, actually you got a regular swap. You got a regular Radium swap, you got a regular Jupiter swap. But at the end of these transactions, they will include another additional instruction, which is send all our money to this other address, basically. And it really tipped us off. It's oh, this is a new thing that's going around. This has affected maybe 4 or 5 users at that point. Our moderators realized that this was quite serious and they alerted the team. And we deep dive hard together with the moderators, with the users, and we knew that this wasn't that widespread because we only had 4 or 5 cases, and Jupiter's UI has a lot of users. So we know that whatever's affecting this isn't affecting every user on Jupiter, and
so what's
or other platforms.
What was actually interesting here is that I think most other teams will have stepped it away. They'll be not a big deal.
Not our fault, right? Not my problem.
Yeah, not our fault, right? Not our fault, not a big deal, right? But I think what was actually really impressive here by Soju and the mods that they really, even though it was a very small thing, relatively speaking, they stopped it. They really dove into it before it hurt more people, right? Right. The key thing is this, right? I think the key thing and the reason why I'm personally impressed is I think I think the team, even though it for example, it probably was somewhere else too, right? And people reported it somewhere else, right? But I think most teams would just be not really a problem, right? Right? But I think the what impressed me about Soju and the team is that they really dove into it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it will be very easy to assume that they left their computer unattended, they plugged a wrong USB drive to the computer. There's so many things that can go wrong. But it was very interesting because they were all coming to us with the same story. It's I have this new wallet, I use Jupiverse and my money went poof. So we really wanted to find out what was affecting our users. And so we did. And so the moderators and I texted the users. I called a user for an hour and a half. We tried to collect all the information that we have, trying to spot a point where they all shared a similarity. And we knew that all these users were using official domains. We knew that all these users were using Phantom and Chrome. And they had also signed the transaction that allegedly drained them. And we all knew that every time they got drained, the user was actually trying to do something. So the user was actually trying to swap, but it just somehow he swapped and then he lost all his money in the same transaction. So we just wanted to know what was going on and like keep our users safe, right? And
Keep not just
one day
our
we
users, not just our users. We keep the
every
broader ecosystem safe. That's very important. Yeah. Mhm.
keep every Solana user safe. So like
Everyone,
we got a
not
lucky
just
break.
Go on.
We got a lucky break one day where like a user was like, "Oh yeah, I swapped 2 days ago. I had no issues, but today I thought I had issues." So we asked the user, like, "Oh, what do you do in the past 2 days?" And said, "Oh, I found this extension on Reddit and I downloaded it and I installed it." And I was like, "God damn it, there it is." So we found so we went to check this extension. It was called Bull Tracker, and we sort of like our engineering team sort of went to the code because fun fact, you can view the code of every extension on Chrome. So we went in and we found out that like this extension, despite being this extension was supposed to help you trade meme coins, and all it was supposed to do was to sit there and tell you about the meme coin you're looking at. But this extension asks for the permissions to like read and modify the data the websites were serving you, which shouldn't be necessary. And we went into the code, we actually found like a snippet of code which allowed the extension to add in to like sort of like drain you. And we then immediately went to ask all our users and like, "Oh, do you have this extension?" And they all answered yes. So we knew we found it. And the interesting thing about this extension wallet is that like it was able to pass simulation. So you know when you sign a wallet on Solana, all wallets have this like cool feature where they'll tell you what the transaction is doing. Somehow, when you are simulating the transaction, this extension would hide the malicious transaction. And they will do it by calling basically the balance of another account. It's like, "Oh, if this account balance is 0, then don't do anything." So during simulation, the account balance was 0, extension did nothing. And then when you actually sign, they would then add money to the account. And so that when the transaction actually landed on chain, you will see that the account is not 0, and then it carry out its tasks as it was supposed to. And this was how people sort of signed despite thinking that like, "Oh, it's nothing wrong, let me just sign." And it was very interesting to learn about all of this because I've never like experienced that before. Like for me as a Solana user, I saw you viewed that simulation as a source of truth, and I was happy signing away. But this is one of the cool things that I learned doing this. And then we wanted to like figure out how did people download this extension wallet. And then we realized that this guy on Reddit, basically, you can hop onto the net site by the way, Cash. There's some photos that's quite helpful. So we basically, this guy on Reddit was like going around talking about how he's making money trading meme coins. Like, yeah, this one, making money trading meme coins. And people will ask him, "Oh, what are you doing? What's the strategy?" And then he will just name drop the extensions like, "Oh, I'm using this cool new thing to raise money, to like make more money." And he was doing this for like a month, like building up a name for himself as like a good meme coin trader on Solana. And this was how like he got people down the extension. And yeah, and those people who fell for his comment and down the extension would then eventually be drained because they can do it.
And the thing is, right, it's like it's sporadic. It's sporadic, right? It's like they do and stuff, and it happens irregularly enough across many people and stuff that unless there's a clear effort to triangulate everything, you can't catch it.
Yeah, open the bottom left photo, Cash. Let me show what Meow just meant. Yeah, so basically you can see there's a set of criteria there. Wait, is it this one? Oh yeah, it's the first criteria. Skip, it has one signature. So this, among other criteria, is like you have to like sort of fit it somehow. It's not sort of like everyone who downloaded got drained. It's just like if you fit this certainly set of criteria, you will get drained. And once we had all these pieces of information, we then went to the other teams, Radium, Blowfish, Phantom, and showed down our findings. And Radium and their teams confirmed with their users as well who had similar issues, and they all confirmed that it was the same extension. And it's like big thanks to our moderators, big thanks to these teams, big thanks to the CWG and Cadet community who even got the extension taken down from Chrome extension afterwards. We also got the guy banned and his comments deleted from Solana Reddit. And yeah, we are just overall very glad to have like this small W in the never-ending like battle to keep every user in crypto safe, because at the end of the day, like we have to keep these users safe. Like this is what we are all here to build. We're here to build cool apps, here to help people use DeFi, and we view this as a very important thing in our goal there. Yeah.
Jesus. All right. Well, I mean, for me, there's 3 takeaways here. The first one is it's scary out there, folks. I did not even know a type of scam like this was possible. I also have always used the transaction simulation as the source of truth. I said, if the transaction simulation is safe, then I'm safe. Possibly not. So you got to be very careful what you are installing on your browser. Hopefully, everyone
it's mostly good. It's just that there's this window. There's a very small window where someone can align the different things to do it. Right? It is a very small window. Yeah, I was surprised too. I honestly, for me, I think we started with a number of hypotheses of what happening, and then me and Soju each hypothesis. Then and we worked through them. Some are right, some are wrong. We triangulated a bunch of people, and then we eventually got to it. Yeah, but yeah, I think before I end this thing, Stasha mentioned the offsite labs. Who did tremendous amount of work. Right, he's on our Twitter. Right, he's one of our favorite. They're our favorite teams. Our favorite team and favorite guys. Yeah, so I think definitely give them a follow. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
pretty great.
I was gonna add one more thing as well, is that like I think the broader teams and simulation teams knows that simulation is like 99% and there's the 1%. I just want to do a quick shout out for Blowfish as well, who's actually already come out with a new feature and working with the wallets to implement that will help tackle this. So
very cool.
Never ending better towards keeping people safe continues. Yeah.
Good. Listen, Meow and Soju can't really say this because they work at Jupiter. I can say this because I don't work at Jupiter on the side. There are some teams that kind of like talk a big game about caring about end users, right? And they talk a big game about wanting to keep people safe and good UX and like onboarding the masses and so on. But it is a different thing to use scarce resources and time. There's plenty of other stuff going on in Jupiter to actually walk the walk, not just talk the talk in helping people safe. And so I think that's a pretty remarkable thing, and that is worth applauding. So drop a little W in the chat here.
I remember this thing. I was screaming at Soju for some feature and some like big operational thing he had to do, and he was like, "Wait, I'm doing security thing." That happened 4 or 5 times. I think so it's funny, right? Yeah, and similarly, I think on Monday I actually wanted to on Sunday and Monday, Sunday and Monday, 2 days, right? We wanted to write essays and sleep. We did neither.
We did this.
The essay didn't get written, and then the no sleep was gotten. Right.
Sunday night 2 a.m.
We knew that we had to rush this out because guys, okay, one last thing, share. It's actually very tricky, right? Because we can't rush it, right? Imagine you got anything wrong, right? You know what I'm saying? Right. Then we might have caused a mass panic, right? I'm saying, and you know how things spread these days, right? Like if you say something that is wrong and stuff, you will get 5K view, you will get 5K likes, right? But it will grab a lot of stuff, right? That reputation, right? So we were very, very careful about this, right? But we also knew that to do it fast. Right? The more we drag, someone might get drained, right? So it was this interesting dynamic where you have to be really responsible and stuff about how we say things, but also that really fast. Yeah. So that's why 2 days of no sleep and no essays. Yeah, let's go.
And I think that maybe the capstone to all of this, do we have a new nickname for Soju? Sherlock Soju? Is that where we're going here? The on-chain investigator. I don't know. We'll see.
Honey badger. That's what.
The honey badger takes, I thought. The honey badger doesn't give a fuck. Isn't that the whole honey badger thing?
No. Honey badger gives a fuck when he wants to give a fuck.
Soju Holmes, I told you from slot. Soju Holmes.
Soju Holmes. Yeah, Sherlock Soju Holmes. I like that as well.
Not good. Trust me, not good. Yeah, not good. Yeah,
anyway, you let us know in the comments what Soju's nickname ought to be here. Honey Badger, Soju Holmes, or something else entirely. In any case, this is good for the ecosystem, and I think it's a very cool thing. Thank you for the work on behalf of everybody here. And as a reminder to everybody, stay safe. That is the key thing out there. As Soju does a little dance. All right, Soju, thank you very kindly for the good work and for coming out.
And the mods as well.
And the mods as well, of course. And the mods as well.
All right, thanks, guys. Thank you.
All right, let's go over then. Oh, and who is this? We next have our section with Meow. Lex Friedman, who says the chat here, the host of the Meowcast, because you did the podcast. That's the idea that you're the.
I did a podcast. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also confirmed 100% Feline. So from a Jupe perspective now is a great time. Well, to revisit the Jupiverse and then talk about the working groups. Meow, take it away, my guy.
All right, so Jupiverse. All right, let's go. So Jupiverse are 3 J's, right? The first is Jupiter platform, Jupe the token, right, and J.U.P a community. Okay, so 3 J's. Okay, Jupiter, Jupe, J.U.P. Cool. All right, that's Jupiverse. All right. So today we're gonna talk about the J.U.P.
Which is this right here.
Yeah. So as you guys see the team song at the end of everything, you see the J.U.P, right? So J.U.P is like the people, right? The people that make up the whole thing, right? And then honestly speaking, guys, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but Jupiter, the platform, is a bunch of code, right? Jup, the token, is a bunch of bytes, right? Right? And but J.U.P is the people, right? That writes the code, writes the code, validate the tokens, and actually give value to things, right? So it's all about J.U.P, right? And the J.U.P, there are 5, and for us, I think we consider J.U.P as 5, right? The cadets, the users, the DAO, the team, the work groups, right? And they all kind of come together, right, to form a really powerful and cohesive, right, community, right? And then obviously, I think today we talk about, and then I think we talk about work groups today, right?
Work groups.
Yeah, we talk about work groups today. Yep. Right. So just a quick recap of work groups, right? Work groups are basically a big experiment, right? In distributed talent. So it's part of the experiment in how we go, hey, can we actually there's so much talent out there in the community, right? That a normal kind of like a corporate setup might not be good for. We're completely not capture. How do you create a system where small autonomous teams, they have the right they have the talent and the passion and the willingness, right? To get the legitimacy, funding, and support and peer and mentorship that they need, right? To do a really good job for the community, right? So that's the goal. And today, I think even though this is very early stage, guys, we are like barely 6 months in, okay, from work groups, and we have already started powering key community operations, right? Like DAO ops, community outreach, alignment, and cohesion. I think I would say I speak for everyone here when I say that I think Jupiter will be a very different place if we didn't have the co-working group and also the Uplink working group, right? It'll be a very, very different place.
And the Catdets working group as well, and many others.
Many others, right? But I think these are the formalized ones, right? The thing, right, are the fact that, okay, if you give a work group enough time, right, and enough patience and work with them, right, it's going to be it has a tremendous effect on the ecosystem, right? So that's our belief, right? Yeah, let's go. Thanks. So I think obviously right now, so where are we right now in the working groups, right? I think as of confirmed, so we have two working groups are confirmed, right? Uplink working group, right, and the co-working group, right? Yeah, there you go, right? And that's actually obviously and obviously doing really good work. And there will also be accountability boards coming up, right? To make sure that the community goes, okay, we love them, keep doing it, right? So that's how it works. I think that's a very important part of it. We also started a trial working group we started 3 trial working groups. I mean, that voting process, not gonna lie, was pretty rough. Right? I think it's pretty tough. There's a lot of questions, but I think we went through it. I think the community actually got a chance to explain it whatever, right? And everything. So I think that was great. And then we had 3 with the ready working group, working group, and cadet working group, right? So today, I want to share that for the ready working group and the web working group, they are not continuing after the trial. And I think just to be clear, I think they did really, really great work, right? We didn't have Reddit before, right? And now we have a Reddit working group. Yeah, and now we're Reddit. Right?
Reddit, yeah.
I think it's probably like the other I mean it's obviously still baby subreddit, right? But I think it's but I think I'm impressed with our content there and everything is going on, everything. So I think it's great. So I'm very thankful to Wit City and his team for like getting it started. Yeah. And then for the working group, I think they also did a really good job in terms of the getting the station up and running, right? And also Jup and Jupico up and running as well. And then they've also been like a tremendous contributors to the community, all these like last 3 months. And I think, and obviously the cadet working groups and stuff is also it's ongoing trial, right? And I think they have about 2 more months on the trial. And yeah, I think but they've done an amazing job in terms of like rallying the cadets, setting the ground rules and everything. So yeah, I think and they would, and also I think they will start a large number of initiatives, the PPP token list and the cadet appreciation thing. So yeah, I think and yeah, so I think in summary, I think the 3 working groups have been a success. Yeah, Hanko from working group was here. I think I think the working group has been a really big success in my opinion. Yeah. I think over here, I think let me just bring out some comments here, right? I think
sorry.
I think to bring out some comments here, right? I think and you guys know me, right? I like to address criticism upfront, right? No, here's the thing. I cannot disagree more with you, right? I think we funded a DAO with sufficient USDC and Jup, right? In order to kind of like and the key thing is actually to kind of leverage that capital, and to actually add a lot of value. Right, and I think I would say that I'll tell you I'll stand by that 100%. Is that I think that without open groups, I think we will be a much worse community, much worse. Right, yeah. So I strongly believe in the idea of it. Yeah, then go next time. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, so I think a few things. So I think a few things is that I think so I think a few things is this. I think okay. So let me just be more clear here. I think for the Reddit working group, I think they are not going to continue in the process to become a full working group. Yep. I think there were a number of concerns. There were a number of concerns that it would be it would not be that it would be a bit like even though the work done was really great, it wouldn't have been appropriate to continue to full group. Yeah. So I think that was actually the decision that either the individual, or others made. Yeah.
So as far as the current working group, you want to take this one here? Diego, nailing it over here. We experiment, we fail, we correct.
I feel like in many ways the trial was a success. In many ways, right? The three trials was a success. We did I think everyone went through the process. And by the way, big respect to going through the process. That's through the process, right? It's a really hard process, right? Yeah. And I think the reason why Uplink working group had much easier time was because and they had the visibility, right? From the community for long time, right? So everyone could very clearly see the value of the work that's been done, right? However, I think for work groups that are newer, I think it was really hard for the community to kind of like understand that front. So I think first of all, right, really extremely big relief, right? Extremely big thanks to them for even setting up a space, right? Yeah. And secondly is that I think that's the whole point of a trial, right? The whole point of a trial is to actually let people stand up, let the community decide on whether to fund them or not, and then actually go through the process. Yeah. So I think that's actually one thing that I think is actually pretty amazing that happened. Yeah. I'm actually really just to be clear, I'm actually really happy the trials happened. Yeah.
But so let's talk a little bit about the processes. As you mentioned, it was a difficult process to get those trial work groups there without any kind of proof of work before the vote happened. How are we thinking about it going forward?
What's that, sorry?
I said, how are we thinking about
one thing here? I would say, like, some things take a long time to happen, right? Like, Reddit take a long time to build over time, right? And it really takes a very, and again, I'm very grateful to the team, with the team for getting started, right? Because I think if not, I think we wouldn't have gotten started, right? So that's actually a really big deal. Yeah. And as I said, I think it's like community and ethos and content, they take years to build. That's actually a really important point to do, right? And then so that that's the reason why work groups are structured not as a 1 week grant, right? You know what I'm saying? No? But it's not a grant to do something one-off and fuck off, right? It's actually fundamentally a long-term commitment, right? And you really shouldn't apply to a work group if you're not intending to be long-term in this thing. Doesn't make sense. Yeah.
So
actually,
we talk about
it's actually really interesting. Yeah, but it's actually really interesting. I think Reddit's not going to shut down. Reddit's going to go on, right? I think Reddit's going to go on and stuff. I think a lot more people are going to start contributing to Reddit, and then I think it's going to be hopefully great as well. Keep going to be great. Yeah. So actually, one of the things actually that I think also for the trial working group, the capital that is not used will be returned back to the DAO. Yep. So I think that's actually a pretty big deal as well. Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the process here?
No, I'm just looking at the
I can tell. You're looking at it here, folks. I do think it's worth pointing out that like
I feel like sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, like, it for people who are saying like, hey, this was not a good use of funds or whatever, you're entitled to your opinion. The point here is not to have like broad consensus that every single person in the community thinks that it is right. The point is to have a mixture of different perspectives and opinions put forward, make reasonable arguments in public, and then see which one wins in the marketplace of opinion, right, with the voting. That is the point here. So certainly there were some folks that voted no on those proposals. You know, they had good reasons, hopefully, for doing so, and they expressed those in good faith most of the time, which counts. And I think that's what we're looking for across these kind of conversations here.
So actually, one thing is really, I mean, this is interesting comment, right? Now, first of all, we are not opposed to working with some people like YouTube, everything to Jupiter, right?
Mm-hmm.
But notice, guys, notice a priority here. Okay, so far we've done absolutely zero, right? In terms of like influencer marketing, zero, big fat zero, right? You know, but we have spent enormous, crazy amounts of effort, right, in talking to the community, activating the community, setting things out for the community. Okay, now why? And here's my thing. I strongly believe, right, that the value for the platform, for the token, and for other people comes from people who are in the game, right? Who really believe in something, who likes the community and wants to do stuff for it, right? That is where real value comes from, right? The fundamental problem in crypto today, right, is that teams are so worried about getting hype and attention right away, right? That they would rather just like let some influencer get a lot of things and then but neglect the community. Okay, so we don't do that here. Okay, I think first and foremost, our main target and the main people that want to stand by is always the community. Always 100%, right? And we always like spend way like 10x more time or 100x more time, with the community, rather than people don't care, right? And even if we work with someone who is famous and stuff, we will 100% make sure that they care about Jupiter first. That's so basically they are part of the community as well. That's actually really important. Okay, I think that's actually really important. And work groups are how we do it. Yeah, go on, sorry.
We want missionaries, not mercenaries, right? That's the kind of end goal here.
Yeah, it's like precisely. It's more like it's really about like really about like I feel like it makes me sad when and the reason why I'm spending time, it actually makes me sad, right? To not see how much work goes into when it comes to community, right? Like public work is actually very, very difficult. Like it really takes a lot for someone to stand up and say, hey, I want to do this thing in public, right? Because that's brutal, I think for every good comment you get and stuff, you get like 10 like really nasty comments, right? Yeah, and then yeah, so I personally feel a bit sad, and that community work and bro, that's the reason why I feel like the space is like not that great for a lot of people, right? Because when you stand up and try to do like really good work, public work and stuff, then people tend to undervalue it, right? But then if you tend to if you show some stuff, you do a lot of engagement farming things, right? Then you get rewarded, right? With attention and love, right? So I feel like that's actually something that I think is not great. Yeah, but let's go on. Anyway, I'll end off, right? Number one, work groups has proven to be fundamentally important to J.U.P. But the current trial process is not ideal even count PvP, because like during the trial process we actually saw a lot of work groups try to fight each other, right? And fight each other, right? It's actually really bad. And thirdly is that I think that even before the trial working group, I think the community should actually kind of get to know them first. That'd be a big deal, right? Because when the community doesn't know them, it's not fair to both parties, right? It's not fair to the community because we're expecting the community to vote for something they don't even know about, right? Make sense? And secondly, it's also not fair to the working group because they might get criticized. You know what I'm saying? Because just because the community is not familiar with them, right? Things like that, right? Another one thing is that I think I want to push for more tightly scoped work groups. I think work groups should have a scope and just do it really, really well. The problem I think right now is I think there's going to be a lot of scope overload because work groups tend to want to prove themselves and say they can do a lot, and that's a big problem because then there's all that and they don't get good at anything, right? And they can't show their work well, right? Things like that. Yeah, so I think that's a big problem actually. And thirdly, and lastly, I think we have to build accountability and readjustment votes in the process once a year or time period of time, right? So to make sure that, because one of the working groups concerns that okay, hey, there is this like long period and they might just die off, right? And they don't do anything afterwards, right? So I think having just like how we did a CAT pack, but we want to do the transparency audits every 6 months, right? We should also do this every month, every once in a while, right? To make sure that the working groups are continue to be doing stuff. Yeah.
Makes sense. So to kind of help think through where the process is going, the CWG, the core working group, has put together some thoughts, and maybe we can bring those folks up right now. Do you want to respond to this comment first, Meow?
Oh, no, go ahead. Let's go.
Okay, cool. So what we'll do right now is we'll bring up I can't even say the multiverse's favorite slug at this point because that seems too small. So I will say he's the slug of your dreams. Dreams are even bigger than the multiverse because we all have dreams. Drop a little jam for Slorg of the slugs, and then drop a little jam for the nicest mustache in all of crypto. We got Kimo Sabe here with the eyebrows working as well. How you guys doing?
Well, I didn't think you would be able to top multiverse, but somehow you managed.
Bro, pray for me next
So dreamy.
week. What am I supposed to say? I'm running out of shit. That's the problem. ChatGPT's got to get onto it.
You're gonna have to make a work group just to find out new words to use when you introduce
The Compliment Slorg work group is coming soon, folks. But speaking of work groups, obviously, as Meow was saying, there's going to be some changes to the process. How are you guys thinking about the new working group process at a tactical kind of level here?
Right. So we just posted a proposal yesterday, and I think we could kind of go over the high-level overview, although I would implore everyone to please read the proposal in full and give your feedback. It's not the finalized version yet. The finalized version will go out Friday. But yeah, there's really like 4 categories I want to touch on, the first of which is the current system as it is. And if you look at the current workgroup system, it relies very heavily on windows of opportunity, and it's very all or nothing in regards to the trial system. I think we learned a significant amount from the 3 trials, which is why I'm very glad that we decided to do them first, and we realized a lot of learnings along the way. One of which is that the ask for community members who want to participate is very high. The only size of commitment level that there is allotted to them is an intensive 3 to 6 months or nothing pretty much at this stage. Also, we don't really know the value or success potential of the things they aim to build. We also don't know, are they a good fit? More importantly, do they feel they're a good fit for the process, which can be much more involved and unexpected, as it usually includes more than the work in of itself. Kimo, do you want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, I think like the biggest thing that we sort of experienced was that we were essentially asking people to go from 0 to 2, and we skipped 1. And I think 1 is like, what is the public work that these crews want to do, these people want to do? And can there be sort of a lower barrier to entry where they can still get paid for it, but they don't necessarily have to commit to, 3 to 6 months of doing that idea specifically. So what that kind of led everybody into doing was like making a research proposal for something that they wanted to do, and then just kind of sitting there and being like, well, now what? And I think that led to some people being unhappy and other people being frustrated and whatnot. And then there was, a few work groups that went through the process with a really broad scope because of that, because they're like, well, we better come up with 3 to 6 months worth of work to propose to the DAO so that they're, willing to vote for this. So I think the most important thing in this is just sort of lowering that barrier to entry and giving people a step 1. And we've sort of modeled all of this off of the concept of an MMO, which is to say that working in Web3 is basically like playing a video game, like a massively online multiplayer video game, an RPG. And so we like to call this sort of the evolution system, right? Like how do you level up within the DAO? How do you enter the DAO? Yeah. Anything else I should add before we move on, Slorg?
Yeah, we have a pretty robust discussion in the forum post, so I don't want to go too much into that at this time. But effectively, what I'll say is we created a proposal over the course of several weeks, and its goal is to do two things. One is to provide some additional clarity, guidance, and windows of opportunity to people. And two is to create a system that allows for more rapid experimentation cycles and to allow people to participate with smaller commitments first. I think a piece of the inspiration from this came from you, Cash, and your suggestion with the microgrant system to sort of source talent, as you said. And that's why we're focusing with this proposal to flesh out a more robust pre-trial workgroup system, I would say.
Very nice. Yeah, I think that there's a bunch of great proposals, and I think one of the real invisible dangers for a community where you're trying to activate the talent force is like the opportunity cost or the lost talent that didn't end up actually contributing the value that they maybe could have due to like whatever slow processes or feeling overlooked or whatever else it might be. Because there's a bunch of great cadets who've done a bunch of great proposals that we've seen. I'm excited to see those get off the ground now with this new system. So the new system would start with a grant, then go to a trial working group, and then do a full working group at the end of it. Is that correct?
Effectively, yes.
So actually, let me jump in. Let me jump in here real quick, right?
Yeah.
I think one thing that I want to reiterate, right, is that there's actually a lot of talent in the community, right? And that's the starting point. You have to believe that, right? And I 100% fucking believe that, right? However, I think talent is many components to it, right? One component is about being able to work in public, right? Which is a very different story, right? And secondly is that even if you work in public and stuff, do you have to match your community, right? Is this community to do for you, right? For example, some guy might be great as a boyfriend to some girl, but then terrible for someone else, right? So similarly, if you're a talent and stuff and you can work in public, now can you actually, are you good fit? That's a personality fit, right? And the third thing is okay, like is there and how do you? But even if you work, even if your personality fits and talent fit and stuff, but then does your skill set fit, right? Are you able to offer your skill set in a way that's useful, right? So previously, I think for the whole system, right, we're asking people to be like, hey, you know what, like, okay, to basically offer themselves up in a way that I think has a very high level of stress, where we don't know these things. Again, the team that like we don't know, the community doesn't know, and the working group that the working group doesn't know as well. No one knows, right? So I think going from a no one knows situation to a vote is pretty intense. And I think, and as a result, I think that's the motivation for them wanting to do this thing, where they go, hey, how do I actually allow all these like people with great ideas, right, to actually do things in a way that is like much less intense, right? That can actually get them off the ground before we put them for a vote, right? So I personally am hopeful that this proposal allow us to fund a lot more, right? Smaller groups in small amounts, and then and go from there, and hopefully and stuff we can actually and from there, hopefully some go to the trial, and from there some will go to the full. That's how it's it, yeah. And we shouldn't expect that everyone will get everything, right? As you can see, as you can see the trial group and stuff, right? Not everyone is gonna go similarly, right? I think not everyone who gets the grants is gonna become a focus group, talking group, and not everyone talking group go to focus group. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So just to just to slap sort of a TLDR on our proposal, what we're asking for is a budget of $150,000 to fund between 15 and 30 micro grants over the course of 3 to 6 months. And at the end of that, we want to have an intensive retrospective period with the community to determine like what went right, what went wrong, things to double down on, and more. I think the idea overall is to build a better system over time with the community.
If somebody has an idea that maybe doesn't even want to be a working group, but they think, hey, this is like an opportunistic place where I can add some value to the Jupiter ecosystem by doing this kind of short-lived thing, would this grants process be the right place for them to go as well?
Yes, although we are not focusing on anything what we're referring to as external grants at the moment. We're focusing mostly on internal grants within the DAO.
So meaning like stuff that builds up the DAO itself, rather than like, hey, we're building this thing over here and we want a Jupiter grant for it. This is focused on like the core, like reinforcing the core.
The Jupiverse, Jupiverse,
Yep.
the J.U.P, not okay. So okay, I hate to interrupt here, but I'm really annoyed by some comments. So let me just address them real quick, right? I feel like a lot of things people are saying, oh, you can't get a job here, that's why you're doing this work group thing. First of all, no, that's not the fucking point, right? You have no idea how hard these things. Okay, if you think that, bro, if you think that it's so fucking easy doing this and stuff, right? Do it. Get a grant. Try the process. Go convince like 200,000 people, all right, to give you money, right? Try it, bro. All right. I'm just saying, if you think that it's free money for incompetent people, go try it. I invite you, right? Try going through the process, right? And we talk about it. Okay, tell me how it goes. You know, it's hard work, bro. Seriously, man. Come on. You know. So anyway, with this system, we want to allow a lot more people to come into the work system. But previously it was too slow and too hard, right? You know, we can't run trial groups votes every month or every week even, right? You know, but this system should have a much more. Look, I mean, I had it, man. I had it with people who just go on and say stuff. Okay, Ken. Yeah, if you think, look, everyone loves free money. If you think it's free money, try it. It's there, right? I'm just saying, you know. Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Spicy Meow is one of my favorite meows. I have a few different meows that I really like, but Spicy Meow is one of the better ones, I think.
I mean, like, guys, it's not easy, bro. Like, working in public is fucking difficult. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Yeah, and yeah, that's seriously. You know,
this stuff is not for the faint of heart, right? And if money is your primary motivation, let me tell you, there's a lot of easier ways to make money in crypto than by doing all this kind of stuff. All right. But for the folks who have an idea or a desire to help kind of build and accelerate the meta, to help it further the Jupiverse and the Cadet community and everybody else who's using crypto and not just owning it and all that other good stuff, I think that's where this becomes useful. And the finances that you're able to get are an additional incentive, but they should not be the only incentive.
Because guys, one thing that is very important for us here, right? And we have seen it, by the way, right? Is that people that come to this group and they do good stuff, right? It's almost a ladder, right? You know, into the Web3 world, right? We want to give great people great visibility, right? Because I mean, we are fortunate enough to the community, right? And if you do good in our community, so you do get visibility, right? And then we do a lot to try to get people visibility as well, right? Because we know how important visibility is to the community, to the ecosystem, right? You know, we know that, right? So we try to do that. Okay, so I think it's kind of what we try to do. And again, I want to just say one thing, right? So I think personally, I think it's a well scoped proposal. I think CWG has worked a long time on it and clearly thought very thoughtful about it. Everything. I wasn't personally involved in it at all. You know, I only read through it last couple of days. You know, yeah, and I personally I like it. I have some comments for them. I think the title is terrible. You know, right? But the point is that I wasn't involved in it, right? So I advise I encourage everyone to look at it, and and just recognize that it is gonna be I think the most interesting component here is a Grand Council component, which is a bit spicy, right? You know, but I think it's not bad for a start. It's actually really good for a start. So I advise as usual, there'll be a lot of calls and meetings and everything. You know, so feel free to comment. Yeah.
I would say one thing that I really like about the Grand Council idea, people who have worked with me know that I like small groups of people with kind of like the ability to make decisions very quickly. But one thing that I think is very cool here is the idea that over time, Catdets will actually outweigh the CWG, and more power goes directly to the Catdets rather than just the CWG, which I think is an interesting idea. You want to be always kind of designing central systems where you are actually decentralizing power, not just talking about it as theater. So I think that's an interesting thing. So the vote is going to come up. And the vote is for this DAO budget to begin this grant.
One thing to talk about here is important, okay? It's like, I'm very, very confident that the CWG and the Catdets are going to give grants to only people who have a track record of doing stuff in the community, okay? It's not like just show up and do stuff. It doesn't work that way. I'm saying, right? It's like, yeah, so I just want to say that. And Slot and Kimo, you had a success so far, right? You guys did actually give a grant to a team that worked really well. Do you mind talking about that real quick? Yeah.
Yeah. Can you touch on that?
Yeah. So I think if anybody's curious about this process, we're going to do a full case study on them. But Wake and Sachs have basically, They basically did this entire process before it was even written, just by trying stuff and sort of reiterating and then approaching the things that they wanted to do differently than pretty much anybody else had. So they already have achieved the 2 sort of prerequisite grants before moving to a trial, and that was just of their own volition. And so I think if you want to talk to those guys, like, they've already gone through this entire process perfectly. They've shown the initiative, and I think the self-agency and the ability to have that sort of activation energy, like, that's the rarest piece of all this, is just being able to be like, boom, I want to do this. Yeah.
Just want to read Sax's comment here because I think it's an important one. Sax of the Jupe and Juice podcast. I love Meow's passion because it's the truth. I spent the last 4 months working 2 full-time jobs, essentially in the hope of one day maybe being in a working group with 0 guarantees. That's the way to do it.
I mean, like, you know, I mean, it's actually really important here because what Kim was talking about is activation energy. That is tremendously important in crypto. Okay, yeah, I think I feel like we are gonna learn things. Okay, guys, just to be clear, we're gonna learn things. Okay, the whole point is not to say everyone is gonna work, every talking with group, or even maybe workers are gonna work. You know, saying maybe Cash wakes up tomorrow and be like, you know what, fuck Meow, right? You know, maybe that's that. Right?
I wake up every morning saying "fuck Meow," and then I just see that face, and I'm like,
yeah.
All right.
But you guys know what I'm saying, right? It's like that. I mean, that's why we have things like accountability boards, like, you know, like DAO crawbacks and all these kind of mechanisms, right? You know what I'm saying? Right? That's actually really important, right? And we scope things to good guys. Everything we do is just experiment. Okay, we have to experiment because there's so many things that fucked up the world today, right? So many things that don't work in the world today. Okay, so if we don't experiment, right, and then we are fortunate, guys. We're fortunate to have a certain capacity, right, to provide like operational funds or like Jupe funds to do things. Okay, and that's amazing. We're in a great fucking position. Okay, and let's use it. Let's use it well. Let's use the assets that we have in a courageous but careful but courageous and strategically important way, right? And I can think of and to me, getting the right work groups in, getting the right talent to be invested in Jupiter and doing stuff with Jupiter and stuff, I can't think of a better use for it for it. That's it. Done.
Cool. So, with all this said, and hopefully all this context helps bring people into some of the conversations that are happening around the working groups, because ultimately the working groups are for the community to be able to add value. So it's important that everyone understands the process, understands the thinking behind the process, and has a say in the process. And for that reason, the vote is going to be going live on Friday at 4 p.m. UTC. And again, that vote will be to approve additional funding of $150,000 to the CWG, so they can begin making these micro grants and getting people to kind of build in public a little bit, get some proof of work before they move into the trial working group process. Question here from OG. Curious on the 2 cadet votes. Are they cadet or cadet working group members? How are they selected?
That's something that we're going to deliberate with the Catdet group about. If they decide that they aren't in favor of that responsibility. My original thought was that they would get 2 delegate votes, so they would decide as a group how to delegate the votes. But yeah, we're going to have a robust conversation on how to handle that. I think the main idea is that we wanted a community element to this, and for the community element to expand over time and responsibility and eventually dwarf the CWG's involvement.
I personally like it. I personally like it. I think I read it and I like it actually. In the sense I like it because I think this will ensure that there's a certain accountability and ownership in the process early, right? That means that, I mean, guys, it's actually very people who think that it's actually really important accountability early on in the process, right? Like, and then in this case, the CWG goes, okay, well, we don't mind, you know, being the point of failure or the point of hit, right? And that's a big deal, right? Because like I think they're taking responsibility, accountability for the process, right? I'm saying, right? So I feel like that's actually really important to have. And then over time, but obviously you don't do that for a long period of time, right? And by the way, I'll stand by this anytime, right? I think Slot has proven himself, and Kimu has proven himself, and the rest of CWG has proven themselves to be, in my opinion, some of the best and most ethical players, right? Not just in Jupiter, but also in crypto. You know what I mean? So I feel like, so them wanting to take on this responsibility is awesome, in my opinion. And also them having a plan to actually make it more decentralized over time is actually very important as well. Yeah.
Very cool. Folks, go read the proposal. Get ready to vote on Friday. Slor, Chemo, any final thoughts here before we move on to our next guest?
I think one thing that I kind of took away, we talked to Neil, who is behind the super team grant system, and one thing he said was that you should plan for decentralization from the start. But another piece of learning that I've sort of internalized is like trying to decentralize something from the beginning is insanely hard, if not impossible. So I think that's kind of the ethos that informed our thinking behind this proposal, is to plan for decentralization over time. And that's why we incorporated the cadet role element in it.
Yeah. To underscore that, I'd say Bitcoin started centralized. So
there's an incredible essay people should read called Progressive Decentralization by Jesse Walden that is fundamental to the way I think about crypto. People should definitely check that out to learn more.
Another important thing here is actually, for example, it's like one thing that we do not do at Jupiter, right, is that we do not romanticize DAOs. We don't go like, oh, DAO, then we just throw everything. No, we don't. We practicalize DAO. Right? We don't romanticize DAO. We practicalize DAOs. Right? We make DAOs work. Right? No, that's actually the main thing that we do. Right? So I think too many projects, they launch a DAO, we're centralized, and they don't do the fucking work. They don't communicate. They don't have the right proposals. They don't activate the community. Right? Anyone can say DAOs are great. Right? Who can actually do the work of making good DAO? Right, it's important.
Yeah, let's see those other folks do a 90-minute stream on a Wednesday evening, going through each piece of this one by one. But speaking of the time that's got through, folks, please do go check out that proposal. Go leave your feedback. It is indeed very well thought out, as usual, from the CWG. Some high-quality thinking, which is leading to some high-quality writing, and hopefully will lead to a high-quality proposal. Excited to see what everybody thinks on Friday.
One last comment is that this vote will be 4 days. I think this is the very first 4-day vote, just because it's a piece of feedback we took from the CWG budget vote. Any budget votes that cross a weekend, I think making them 4 instead of 3 days is a good idea generally. So that's what we're going to try here.
Excellent. All right, my friends, I will catch you guys very soon. Take it easy.
Thank you so much. I signed up for the vote, and I'm pretty sure that we'll be hearing a lot from you then. Thank you.
That's a fact. All right. With that said, we have a partner who has been very patiently waiting throughout all of this. They have very recently started to work with Jupiter, and we're going to talk about that all in a second. They help anybody across crypto start to improve yield and optimize that liquidity. They now have some vaults live on Solana working with Jupiter. Let me bring up Vaultka up to the stage. Crypto Royalty, are you still there?
I am still here. Can you hear me okay?
We can indeed. We can hear the heavy weight in your voice.
Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I had the feedback. All right, we good?
There we go. We are good indeed. Maybe to start off, Crypto Royalty, if you can tell the people a little bit about Vaultka, and then we'll talk about the Jupe integration.
I guess I need to pull up the live stream to see if I can hear myself. Can you throw a thumbs up if you can hear me? Okay, here. Let's see.
We can hear you.
All right, now we're good. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Well, first off, wanted to say the intro song was a banger, man. Sounded awesome. Definitely catchy. I listened to it a few times. I'm sure it's going to be stuck in my head as well, as the guy noted at the beginning of the video. Happy to be here. It's cool hearing a girl speak. We need more women in crypto. I think if everybody can agree on that. It was cool listening to all the speakers about what was happening, what they had to say. So anyway, I'll jump into it real quick. I know everybody's been on the call for a while. If you're still with us, appreciate your time. I'm the CMO, Chief Marketing Officer for Vaultka, go by Crypto Royalty. I've been in crypto for a long time, but the reason I'm here to speak is about our exciting stuff that's going on with Solana. Vaultka originated on the Arbitrum chain and is just recently expanded to Solana. So that's why we're here for today.
Welcome. It's good to have you over here on Solana trying some things out. So maybe anyone who hasn't seen Vaultka before, can you give like the 60-second explanation of what Vaultka is all about?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was going to jump into. So Vaultka, it has this name. I guess it's kind of a play on words for like vodka. But anyway, we're the catalyst for perpetual exchanges. So we have like one-click strategies for your LP tokens. You can get really high yields with tailored risk levels. You don't have to face impermanent loss. As I said, Volca has been around for a couple of years now, been building very strong team. I actually joined the team initially as an investor. I was not one of the like core founders or anything like that. I was an investor in Volca because I've been bullish on DeFi as a whole and perpetual trading platforms, decentralized perpetual trading platforms like GMX, Vela, and stuff like that. And so Volca partners with all these major perpetual trading platforms, which can be a gold mine. That's why there's so many of them. And it's a needed product actually in crypto versus just like vaporware or some kind of meme coin that has no actual, underlying purpose. So anyway, Volca allows you to get enhanced returns. Basically, you back the house if you're with, like for instance, like Vela has a VLP or GLP with GMX, where you basically bet against the trader that the house is going to win, that people are not going to win their trades long term. And you can use leverage on Volca to amplify your returns. So, for instance, you can go up to 10 times leverage on some of these products. And the reason why I mentioned our name is based on like a drink beverage. If you go on our website, volca.com, we have a menu. So it's like you're going to like a restaurant and they give you a drink menu, and all our vaults have different names. We have a liquor series and a cocktail series. So we're just trying to make it a little fun for the user. And we received a huge grant from Arbitrum recently. We're actually the smallest market cap that got the largest grant. So that was pretty impressive in their LTIP thing. So that's helped us try to attract some TVL. TVL, for anybody that's kind of new to crypto, stands for total value locked. So that's important. Most of these L2s are throwing out grant money to try to incentivize people to build on their ecosystem. And it's an advantage for them because it gets them users, transactions, people bringing obviously liquidity and dollar value to the protocol. So they give promising projects grant money to help them build. So that was a big thing for us.
Very cool. So I think that if it's helping to improve the way that people can use some of these assets, it is great. Maybe you can talk about how you guys are working with JLP and what the vaults are doing there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we just recently moved. Well, we didn't move, but we expanded, I guess, our brand onto Solana. Solana has been a very hot ecosystem. Obviously, a lot of people are trading on there. Jupiter is leading the way with that. Everybody's favorite hot meme coin has been launching on Solana. So we noticed a huge opportunity there in terms of just new users, and then just the average Joe, everybody wants to be on Solana. And the reason for that is because if you'd been in crypto for a while, you would have known the fees on Ethereum were outrageous. So it kind of priced out the typical user. So these L2 solutions are so much cheaper to conduct transactions on. So it's just been a refreshing thing for the average crypto person that doesn't want to spend a couple $100 just to do a single trade. So we've moved, we've powered up with Jupiter, partnered with them. That's our first stop on the Solana ecosystem. And we're we launched the Leverage JLP Vault. So some key highlights on that is if you're looking for a place to park some stable coins while you wait out this market, obviously we've had some ups and downs. It's been very volatile. This would be a perfect place to park some stable coins. For the first $500,000 in USDC deposits, we're giving additional bonuses. So if you keep it there for 1 week, you can get up to an $80 bonus just on. So we're basically just giving away free money, and there's a guaranteed 25% APR real yield. And real yield means it's paid out to you real time in a stable coin. It's not paid in some random coin that's devaluing. It's paid out in stable coins. And that's always been a narrative in DeFi that I thought was attractive, is the ability to put your money to work. Everybody loves a good dividend, right? The dream of everybody, I think, is to have a passive income portfolio that does all the work for them so that they don't have to do a 9-to-5, right? So anyway, we have pretty amazing rates that are extremely competitive, boosted by the fact that we have some grant money and that we've put a lot of time and effort into building this out. So minimum of 25% APR in USDC guaranteed for the first 5 million in deposits. There is no liquidation risk, which is definitely noteworthy.
So basically, you have Jupso or Jitoso as well.
Yes, we have all that. If you go onto I guess you're playing around with the website right now. So there's multiple choices there, and the APY, excuse me, is going to fluctuate, but there is the guarantee that it will never go lower. But obviously, as more people go in, for the first 5 million, it's guaranteed up to 25%. So there's still a long way to go in terms of people having the opportunity to get in there and earn some money. And we've had a little bit of a rally on Bitcoin lately, but I think about 2 weeks ago, we saw that huge decline where it punished people in the altcoin markets. The altcoin markets have been really struggling lately. Now, Ethereum and Bitcoin themselves have been relatively strong and holding. And we've got some, the presidential elections, and we've got some news about interest rates potentially being cut that could be very bullish for the entire crypto sector as a whole. So there's definitely some major newsworthy events, and I personally am bullish on crypto, at least for the rest of this quarter and the next quarter. I think we're going to get some lower interest rates going into election season, and depending on who your preference for candidate is, it could be very bullish for crypto as a whole. So anyway, there was a few other things I wanted to note, but if you have any other questions, I'll go ahead and answer those. If not, I was going to talk to you about our referral program and our leverage on this product.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so for right now, for anybody that wants to maybe earn some extra money on the side, maybe you don't have a really big bankroll, or you got killed in some of your favorite meme coin or NFT, and you just want to earn some extra money, you can earn it by spreading your referral code. So the referee gets 5% of the total earnings of the people that they refer. So that's 5%. So let's say, for example, you send a referral link to your buddy, or you post it in a Discord or Telegram group or on Twitter. Somebody clicks your link and they earn $10,000. Maybe they're a whale and they just deposit and they earn. You're going to get $500 paid out to you in USDC. So the referral program is pretty good. Yeah.
Answer question here. You're saying that there's no liquidation risk, right? How does that work? Yeah.
Okay, so if you go onto the website and you pull up our documents, it's going to break that down more on how there's actual no liquidation risk. How that's a great question. If you go, let me pull up the actual. Sorry, I've got so many screens up right now. That's why I couldn't hear you. It's going to explain how that's going to work. Trying to scroll down here. To finish, so I wanted to finish the thought on the leverage part. There's the J.U.P product that you can leverage up to 10x. So what that means, leverage is just where you're able to use your money, like you're borrowing capital and you're amplifying your returns. So you can use what you put up. Collateral is the asset that you're putting up to open the actual position. And then you can, so let's say you put in $1,000, you can leverage that up to 10x, which will amplify your real yield returns on the perpetuals. The base APY is over 50% before you're using leverage. So it's just a way of maximizing your returns from trading fees, and if a trader potentially loses. So you're capturing upside on that for sure. As far as the product mechanisms that you were just asking about, I need to look more into that. Honestly, I am the CMO, so I do more the actual like public speaking and talking on that. I need to actually look. I don't want to the point is I don't want to go make a statement that's incorrect. So I don't want to sit there and explain that without knowing, the full stuff. So yeah, that makes sense. Yes, some other noteworthy things. We've been audited multiple times. Obviously, it was an extensive background check on our team. Volka's team is based out of Asia. I'm here in the United States. And obviously, when you go through these audit processes with these major ecosystems, they do their due diligence. So not only have our products actually been audited multiple times, our team went through an extensive background check.
Yeah, so I think it's great that that you are a return when you're here, and thanks for supporting Jupiter. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah,
Cool.
Thank you.
Crypto Royalty, thanks for coming out, folks. That is Volta. You can check that out. Take a look at their docs. Take a look.
One last thing I would say here is that whether it's J.U.P or anything, you should really understand how it works. Okay, yeah, everything, like including J.U.P. Okay, I think I'm actually gonna write an essay very soon on how J.U.P works and stuff, just so more people understand that. Yeah, yeah, very important.
Okay, appreciate it. Yeah, so
Thank you so much.
yeah, give it a look. It's volca.com. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you around. All right, that takes us now into the final section of this longer than the average call, but this one you're going to want to stick around for because this guy has been around in the community for more than a minute, and perhaps just as important, he's got just a stunningly nice voice. Please drop a little JM into the chat for our guy, Irish. Irish, how you feeling? Oh, Irish, you are inaudible.
You're muted.
Little stage fright. Understandable when you're talking to a few thousand cadets or your closest friends. No, Irish doesn't have stage fright. Man's not afraid of anything. Look at that Viking face. Can we get the audio working here? We are getting rugged in real time, folks. Meow, can you do an Irish accent? Do you want to? I'll just ask questions. He can type them and then you read them out in an Irish accent. No, probably not.
No. They say Irish. You need to click on the unmute button on the screen on StreamYard. Yes, it's there's unmute button below.
Yeah. Unmute button. Yeah.
Hey, first time on the planetary call.
Yeah.
You get one strike.
No. Just didn't even notice it.
Yeah, by the microphone icon, you click on it and stuff. So usually it works is that your computer receives the voice signal, but then when you press the button, it doesn't actually.
Yes, Meow tech support for StreamYard.
You see, the real thing is I blame Wake because we've been messing with voice meter stuff to do with streaming stuff, and it's all over the place, you know. So I thought it was that, and I didn't realize that was muted.
Yeah, fucking
Wake. So yeah, fuck Wake, you know.
Bad
Wake.
influence.
1, 2, 3. Fuck you,
Wake. It was worth the wait, though, Irish. Maybe to start off, for people who don't know you, can you talk a little bit about your journey into the cadet community? What were you doing before? How'd you find Jupiter, and what's going on now?
So before, I mean, when it comes to crypto, I was like mainly just trading CEXs. I didn't have a clue about DeFi or nothing. I had a friend who recommended Jupiter to me back like before Christmas, before the New Year, and I finally dived into Jupiter around February and instantly fell in love because mainly of this planetary call. The fact that it's like a board meeting for the public and the energy that you guys bring. When I first came to it, I was like, this shit's amazing. This is unlike anything I've ever seen before. So I got stuck in. I was trying to find a way that I could get involved, and I remember Julian did the Sing with Maria event where they did the whole kind of karaoke vibe, and that event was something else. That was awesome. I ended up hopping up on stage. I bit the stage fright, and I did some beatboxing and sax. He was on stage and did some rapping, and yeah, it was pretty cool.
Can we get a little taste right now? Can I put you on the spot for a little beatboxing? And Meow can rap, as we all know. Meow is a musician and artist himself.
Wait.
Do you want me? Okay, go on. Yeah, what do you want to say, Meow?
Go on.
I was gonna say, do you want a song you'll recognize or just some freestyle? Because that'll be like dubstep.
Oh yeah, any song you want. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
just freestyle.
Any song that people will recognize. Yeah.
Oh, that you recognize. Okay.
50 Cent Candy Shop. What you know about 50 Cent, Meow? What you know about the candy shop?
And if I was gonna freestyle, I'd be like. Yeah, stuff like that.
Wow, it's amazing. I remember you know DeFi, really well. You can beatbox, and you can't press the mute button.
I like to rap because I unmute when I rap, so.
Amazing.
We got the intro to the Jupe and Juice podcast, by yours truly and Doc Preball and the Legends. So.
Shout out to the good doctor. That's pretty great. So, I mean, Irish, I guess I think pretty much everybody in the Discord knows you. People see kind of like all around. But maybe can you talk a little bit about where you're finding opportunities to kind of contribute, give back, and how you're kind of interacting with the rest of the community?
Yeah, so obviously the event I mentioned before, like when I was in that thing with Maria, it really like sparked a passion in me to like I've ran gaming communities and different communities before. I have a lot of experience in it. When I was really young, I actually like helped grow. Back in the day, this was a large number. A TeamSpeak to like over 3,000 people. Right, it was a large gaming community, and that was when I was like a teenager and stuff. But I wanted to take inspiration from what I've done from that before, and just kind of like try and help the community grow and connect, like help build physical bonds, especially because I saw Saxon Wake like manning the VC and I started manning it with them. And I mean, that would be how I even got into Jupe and Juice and stuff, you know, through watching them. Actually, I wanted to touch on that from the topic earlier. You know, it is hard. It's a lot of work. Like I've literally been the witness of watching Saxon Wake and all of the sacrifices that they've had to make going into being a work group, you know. Sax, like, you know, he works nights and everything. He's literally working that job and then full time. Like my very first memory of Sax is staying up till like 8 o'clock in the morning in the voice chat with him while he does like the UX design for the voter empowerment stuff and everything like that. But yeah, but how I've been trying to give back ever since that event and everything is by trying to run gaming events and different events in the community to get people together and get them getting to know each other, because the more we, you know, spread our cultures and get to know each other, the more of a bond and camaraderie we have, the better it is for the community as a whole and for, you know, for spreading the message of PPP, J4J, all that type of thing. So yeah.
Do you have a favorite? Actually, I'm going to ask this question every time we have a cadet on now. What is your favorite Meowism or Meow abbreviation?
Oh,
it's tough. It's a long list.
To be honest, now, like my favorite just is PPP, because I really do believe in the peer pump peer aspect. I actually think like PPP it will have at some point more of an implication on like the broader, you know, world, not just finance. You know, like it has implications for a lot of things, just the way people are. You know, people can be we've had a system and a life that's made people very transactional, and people need to kind of like express more, you know, love for each other, love for their fellow human and everything like that in certain things, especially in crypto, because everything's so PvP. So
I really think that this is the lifestyle, a mindset thing, right? I feel like you can choose to live your life in the. I feel like you can choose to live your life in the PvP way, right? That means like you try to like, you know, like make some of your exit, right? Or you think of it as, okay, if I don't dump on you, you dump on me, kind of mindset, right? I feel like you can do that, and I'm not judging for people who do that, right? But I personally feel like that's not where value is created, right? If you see a great church, you see a great country, you see a great family, right? Yeah, just the family, right? A great family is one where, for example, the parents are PPP, right? They don't go, oh, I make the money, you just stay at home, fuck you, right? No, I mean that's not how it works, right? Okay, no, the father appreciates the mother appreciates father, right? And that's how it works. And we get a good family, right? So I think that is true. And it's in your friends, right? Friends, if you go like, oh, okay, you know, they get jealous of each other. You know how among some friend groups you get jealous of each other, right? So you tear each other down, right? And that's not a group of friends. That's PPP, right? Right. So I feel like crypto is actually very important because in crypto, right, we are not fiat. It's not a scarce resource given to us by a centralized body, right? Crypto is one where we manifest value together. You know, we have the ability in the UGM world, right, where users generate money, we have the ability to generate money, assets, right? If we work together and collaborate together, right?
Yeah, the collaboration of human energy,
yeah, precisely, right? I think things like that, right? So I feel like whether it is in family or whether it's in life, with friends and in crypto especially, right? I think a PPP mindset is actually amazing, you know, right? And I think that is something I think most people should understand more. Yeah.
No, I totally agree. So yeah, so that would definitely be my favorite. I think it's very important. I think what we're doing is an awesome mission, and that's why I love being here. So
one last thing I think I would say is that I think we at Jupe try very hard to have a PPP community, right? You think like just do
I
things.
think we do a really good job of it. Like literally in the Discord, like I might not have come across some cadet, but you will be pleasantly surprised when you come across a cadet you've never run into before, because they will always be a nice person. They like just inherently usually are. Like the community that we're building is like vastly filled of good-hearted people, all compressed into this like awesome space station we got, you know. So
I think language there are very important as well. The community that we are building together. That is the that is the key thing. It doesn't happen without people like you, Irish.
J4J. Yeah.
I'd love to see it, man.
As Sax did, you know, J4J.
Camera. Yeah, you guys know what I'm trying to do. Maybe last question here, Irish, for you. Any advice that you give to people who are maybe watching this call in a position like you were maybe before, felt a little bit, you know, uncomfortable, engaging, or whatever else? How can just somebody who's on the periphery start to make their way towards the inside of the community as you've done?
The advice that I would give is, you know, we've got lots of like awesome cats of culture out there, you know, like Wake, Sax, Morton, WTP. The list is endless, to be honest. I mean, it's not, but it should be. Yeah, like I would just say to reach out to fellow cadets, reach out to, you know, come join the voice chat. Just get included. Don't be afraid to, you know, I mean, some people are timid, but try your best not to be afraid to voice your opinion, voice your feedback, no matter how stupid you think it is. You know, the more minds are better than one. So it might seem stupid to you, but there could be something that you say that actually has one little hidden detail where, you know, Meow himself is actually like, oh no, that's actually amazing. Oh, that's really good, you know, and then there you go, you'll have said something useful. So don't be afraid, you know. That's what I would say. Just get stuck in.
Just get going. Be like Irish. Get stuck in. That is a fact. Drop a little W in the chat for Irish. Irish, thanks for coming out. Thanks for all the good stuff that you do and the vibes that you contribute and everything else, my friend.
And thank you guys.
One last thing is that, you know, we know it can take longer, but sometimes it's just as much to share, you know.
Tune in next week for our first ever 4-hour live stream. It's just gonna get longer and longer here.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Hey, and by the way, wait for breakpoint, because if you think a 2-hour live streaming is a long time, just stay tuned. We might have a surprise over there. In any case, Irish, thanks so much for coming out, my guy. We'll talk to you soon, man.
Peace out, guys. Thank you.
Cheers. My Sudanese brother. That's right. We forgot to get you to the Sudanese accent. Anyway, what do you think, Meow? This has been a hell of a call today. It did fly by. Honestly, I didn't even realize we were at 2 hours until I saw that comment.
Bro, I did a 1 hour podcast before this and like a whole fucking day of meetings. Fucking, I'm exhausted, bro. Holy shit.
The work continues, my friend, but it does not continue right now. Let's start to wrap this up for everybody watching at home.
I call that I felt fucking exhausted afterwards. I'm not joking. It's the first one. You know, I admit feeling exhausted. I rarely admit to that. I'm always like, I'm no problem. I'm exhausted.
Well, you are just mere minutes away from sleep, my friend. So for everybody else out there, if you've been watching and stuck around all this time, thank you. Hopefully you got some good value out of it.
Yeah.
Now to do some push-ups. It has been a fun one, as he's going to do some dips or something else right now. I'm not sure exactly. If you want to get this beautiful little POAP right here, shout out to Srijani, Uplink Working Group, best artist on Solana. All you got to do is scan this QR code. Got to have 50 Jupe staked. Let us know your Discord or Twitter so we know you're a real person, and then you will get that Jupiter. Excuse me. Sorry. Jupiter has also put the link into the YouTube chat, so you can just click on it from there if you're not able to click on this. We'll keep this open for 5 or 10 minutes from now, but we do try to keep that closed pretty quickly to make sure it's just the real attendees of the call who are getting a hold of this. So just to recap where we came from here, we went through the wins. We talked about a new product, Jupiter Lock, lock.jupe.ag. Go try it right now and give some feedback. Still a beta product, so it needs your feedback to get better. We talked about Soju Holmes or Sherlock Soju or Honey Badger Soju or whatever the fuck his name is now, and all the good work done over there. We talked about making limit orders great again. We had Voltka on, and of course, we spent a lot of time on the working group. So make sure to read that proposal today and tomorrow and get ready to vote on Friday. Meow, any last words before we jump here?
No, I'm fucking tired, but I love everyone. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really, really appreciate you guys. Like, really, really do. Okay? Yeah. And thank you. That's all.
Thank you to everybody who came out. And also, I just got to say, it's so fun seeing the same names come to the chat every time. Shout out to all of you folks out there. Go follow Jupiter. Go like this stream. Go follow Jupiter on YouTube as well. And to play us out, we have a little bit of positivity as always. See you next week.
I give a second chance again.